Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Awards Gambit. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everyone's enjoying a long weekend, celebrating all of their favorite presidents. I'm here today to recap the BAFTA Awards. They just happened today. We got our winners, so we can start to see what this changes in terms of Oscar races. I hope that you guys all tuned in, if possible, to the BAFTAs. I hope you enjoyed the ceremony. I enjoyed the bits and pieces that I caught of it. I wasn't able to watch the whole thing because I was at work, but I got to see all the winners. And so why don't we jump into some of the biggest highlights? So first up, best film. The winner is Oppenheimer. Not surprised at all by this win. It's been winning so many top prizes. I was predicted. I predicted to win. I predicted Oppenheimer to win this category. So this wasn't a shock. I think it's going all the way to Best Picture at the Oscars. I mean, nothing is even close to it in terms of what would be in second place. We still have a few more award ceremonies before the Oscars. Maybe PGA could shake things up or SAG. So we'll see. Best Director, the award went to Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer. No shock there. He's winning the Oscar. That's a done deal. So congrats, Chris. For Best Actress, the award went to Emma Stone. She has been sweeping so far. She won Golden Globe, Critics' Choice. Now she has BAFTA. I don't think the Oscar is a lock for her. I think she is definitely the front runner, and I think that she has a really, really good chance of winning her second Oscar. I just am not sure if she is going to beat Lily Gladstone at SAG. Lily Gladstone has such a good narrative. She was so good in that movie. Killers of the Flower Moon is nominated for SAG Ensemble, while Poor Things is not. So that's a little +1 in Lily's direction at SAG. Yeah, so it's still a close race. Starting to remind me a little bit of last year. Cate Blanchett had won Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, and BAFTA. Then lost the SAG to Michelle Yeoh, and then Michelle Yeoh ended up winning the Oscar. So, I mean, there could be a similar trajectory there, especially because BAFTA sometimes does their own thing. But we cannot deny that Emma Stone is extremely strong. And unlike Everything Everywhere All at Once last year, which was gaining momentum, and that kind of swept Michelle Yeoh into all the wins, Killers of the Flower Moon is kind of in the opposite direction, losing momentum. And so a lot of different factors to consider. But it seems every day Emma Stone is closer to that second Oscar. But I hope SAG shake things up. I was hoping maybe Sandra Hüller could win this, but she did not, so I don't think she has a chance of winning the Oscar. But yeah, that's a little bit of what Best Actress is looking like right now. Moving on to Best Actor, the award went to Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. This was good because now we have a really, really tight race between him and Paul Giamatti. We don't really know if Cillian Murphy won this award because of the British factor or because they just loved him that much more than Paul Giamatti. So I think this is still a complete toss-up. They are neck and neck. SAG is going to be really, really important. I think either of them could win the SAG, honestly. And I think if Paul Giamatti wins SAG, then they are just like jumping back and forth. And like it will still be really close. If Paul wins SAG, I think that would definitely give him the edge, and I probably predict him to win the Oscar. But if Cillian wins SAG, this race would remind me of the Rami Malek year when Rami Malek won Golden Globe, SAG, and BAFTA, and Christian Bale won Golden Globe and Critics' Choice. So if Cillian wins SAG, those would be the same wins. And that is the same trajectory and same wins as when Eddie Redmayne won Best Actor. He won Golden Globe, SAG, BAFTA, and lost Critics' Choice to Michael Keaton, who also won Golden Globe. So SAG is going to be really important. I think whoever wins SAG was probably going to win the Oscar. But we'll see. This is by far the most exciting acting race. Moving on to Best Supporting Actress. The winner of this category was Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. Nothing shocking here. I thought that this would be maybe the one spot she would lose, maybe to Emily Blunt, but Davine sweeping, that's a done category. She gave a really nice speech. She got really emotional talking about Paul Giamatti, and she just seemed like a very genuine, well thought out speech, and she seems like a really down to earth, beautiful person. So congratulations, Davine Joy Randolph. Supporting actor, the award went to Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer. I have nothing to say about this category. Robert Downey Jr. is winning the Oscar. That is not a question. For original screenplay, the winner was Anatomy of a Fall. It looks like maybe this is going to go on to win at the Oscars, which would be amazing. It won Golden Globe, won here. None of the other Oscar nominees have won a major screenplay award anywhere. WGAs aren't affecting this race because they are after the Oscars this year, postponed because of the strike. So yeah, congrats, Anatomy of a Fall. It's still a little fluid category just because The Holdovers is a really strong film in general. So, I mean, that could win, but this is good for Anatomy of a Fall that it won here, for sure. For Best Adapted Screenplay, the winner is American Fiction. This was an upset. So amazing to see Cord Jefferson accept this award for American Fiction. I think that I don't even know the last time if this has ever happened, if a award won a screenplay award at BAFTA and that was its only nomination. If anybody knows anything about that or wants to look it up and find out, let me know in the comments, because that was such a feat. That just shows how strong that movie's screenplay is. And it has a Critics' Choice win. None of the other nominees at the Oscars have any wins. So, I mean, could American Fiction win at the Oscars? It certainly seems so. I mean, it definitely could. It's just hard to imagine because it has such strong competition. I don't want to get my hopes up. But it beat out Oppenheimer and Poor Things and The Zone of Interest here, which is also nominated against the Oscars. It's also nominated against Barbie. So I think Barbie could still shake up that race because it never competed with American Fiction because it was original here and everywhere else before the Oscars. So great win for American Fiction. That is still a race that is yet to be determined. For Best Cinematography, the award went to Oppenheimer. No surprise here. Well-deserved win. And it's going to go on to win at the Oscars. So congrats, Oppenheimer. Best Editing, the award went to Oppenheimer. Same deal here, not a shock. Gonna win the Oscar. Jennifer Lame is the editor, so congrats, Jen. Best production design, the award went to Poor Things. So I don't think this award means that much. I talked about this in my predictions video, but this happened with The Favorite. The Favorite won a lot of awards at the BAFTAs and then only went on to win one Oscar. Barbie has won production design at the Critics' Choice and costume design at the Critics' Choice. So, I mean, Poor Things winning here, I don't think that is the end of this race. I think it's still between this and Barbie. I think Poor Things is gaining momentum while Barbie's losing momentum. So, be that as it may, I mean, I think it's still a pretty even race. And that one's a good one to look out for at the Oscars. For costume design, Poor Things also took this award. Same deal with production design. I talked about this on my predictions video last week. It's coming down to Poor Things and Barbie. This is very reminiscent of The Favorite versus Black Panther. I mean, both would be very well-deserved wins. If Poor Things or Barbie won either production design or costume design at the Oscars, I would not be upset either way. But Poor Things won here, so congrats, Poor Things. For Best Makeup and Hair, the winner is Poor Things. So Poor Things gaining momentum. Like I said, Maestro just keeps taking hits in this category. So I think it might be a little bit harder for it to win at the Oscars. I think this race is not done yet, but I could easily see Poor Things taking this award from Maestro just because ever since the discourse about the movie after it came out on Netflix, I just don't think it can bounce back. But you never know. BAFTA's biased towards Poor Things, so who knows what will happen. But Poor Things won this one here. Best score went to Oppenheimer. That one is done. Best sound, the award went to The Zone of Interest. That was a great win to see. I was assuming that it was going to go to Oppenheimer, but went to Zone of Interest. Zone of Interest really obviously there weren't like nuclear bombs going off in the Zone of Interest like there were in Oppenheimer, but the way that the Zone of Interest incorporated sounds into that is really integral to the plot of the film and the message of the film. So I'm all here for the Zone of Interest winning this award. And it just shakes that race up for the Oscars. So, I mean, I still think Oppenheimer's going to win that category, but if the Zone of Interest can win that category, I mean, I think it definitely has a chance. That would be cool to see. Kind of look out for that category. For Best Special Visual Effects, the award went to Poor Things. I was a little surprised to see this one win. I don't think of Poor Things as having really spectacular visual effects. And this award going to Poor Things here doesn't tell us much because it's not nominated at the Oscars. So basically this category of the Oscars is just going to be a complete question mark, which is great. We love that unpredictability. Best casting went to The Holdovers. Congrats to that movie. I think that just shows how strong the cast of that film is and how strong that film is in general. This award doesn't translate to the Oscars, as we know, so it will in a few years, which is great. But But yeah, congrats to the holdovers. Best animated film went to The Boy and the Heron. Boy and the Heron upset again. That was awesome. Upset at the Golden Globes, upset here. Spider-Man took the Critics' Choice. I mean, now we have a two-way race at the Oscars. I mean, it was always a two-way race, but it's just even closer. I feel like Spider-Man could still take it in the end because I remember in, what year was it? 2020? Toy Story 4 won with just the Critics' Choice win when like Missing Link won the Golden Globe, and I think Klaus maybe won the BAFTA. I don't remember exactly, but this is a good race here. I'm excited to see what ends up winning. I would love to see The Boy and the Heron win because I know that director is very acclaimed director. I don't know his name off the top of my head. Forgive me, but yes. So I think I'm probably going to root for Boy and the Heron. Best documentary feature went to 20 Days in Mariupol. This just makes that film stronger for the Oscars. I think that this might be the one that wins at the Oscars. The people accepting the award gave a really empowering speech from what I saw. I only, saw a little bit of it, but it's even more timely because I think it was Friday that Navalny passed away. He was the subject of the documentary that won last year at the Oscars, and that he was a Russian oppositionist, and he died. He was very young, and I think that it's just a very timely and very relevant documentary, and so I'm thinking that that's what's going to happen at the Oscars, that's going to win. For Best Film Not in the English Language, this award went to The Zone of Interest. So I was surprised. I thought Anatomy of a Fall was going to win. Zone of Interest did really well here at the BAFTAs. And I mean, Anatomy of a Fall is not in this category at the Oscars, so it's just this just confirms that The Zone of Interest will win this award at the Oscars. Best British Film went to The Zone of Interest. I was expecting Poor Things to win this award, but not surprised that The Zone of Interest won. So congrats, Zone of Interest. And for Rising Star, the winner is Mia McKenna-Bruce. In hindsight, I should have predicted her. Every time there's someone who's not British but had a really great year and is expected to win, it doesn't go to them. It just always goes to the lesser known British person. So yeah, I should have predicted Mia McKenna-Bruce. I should have known better. I predicted Jacob Elordi because I felt like he had a really strong year, but whatever. You win some, you lose some. So that is just a recap of the winners of the awards. I want to just talk about who won how many awards. So we had Oppenheimer winning 7. Poor Things won 5. The Zone of Interest won 3. And The Holdovers won 2. Everything else won 1 or none. So the races were still a little bit unclear about. I think both Best Actor and Best Actress are undecided, as well as both Screenplay Awards. Best Animated is really tight. I'm excited to look out for that one. Best Sound is a little bit more up in the air. Production design, costume design, makeup and hair. We still got some races here. Visual effects. So we definitely still have some races at the Oscars that aren't done for. So another award show in the books. We got the SAG Awards coming up on Saturday. I'm very excited about those. I'm definitely going to do some SAG winner predictions this week, so keep an eye out for those. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment. Always feel free to ask me and email me any questions. We are deep into awards season. Very exciting. I appreciate you guys always supporting me, and I'll see you guys soon. See you next time on the Awards Gambit.